Now, our feature presentation.
Hello and welcome to Talk. Sort of. In this new series of videos, I'm going to be posting a response or a rebuttal to a discussion that's been going on in the YouTube channel, youtube.com/talk. Today, I'm going to be talking about something very close to my heart. As an aspiring actor and screenwriter, the phrase "is film dying" pops up a lot. So, I'm just going to give you the short answer. No! Three things that could be contributing to the so-called death of cinema include the endless rehashes, remakes and sequels of films, the rise in piracy, and the reliance on gimmicks such as 3D. I'm going to be talking about all of these in my video. Of course, let's start off with the nice and juicy stuff, piracy. Now, Sammy, of course, talked about in his video about how piracy is theft, and it isn't. By very definition, piracy is not theft for the same reason that buying a counterfeit watch isn't theft. Theft, for example, is the dishonest taking of another person's property with the intention of depriving them from that possession permanently. Whereas piracy is the unauthorized use or reproduction of another's copyrighted work. See what I mean about it being more attuned to buying a counterfeit item than actually stealing something? Now, piracy is a big problem, I'm not going to deny that, but is it killing film? No, it's not. You only need to look as far as last year, where the 3rd, 7th, 8th and 14th highest grossing films of all time were born. I couldn't be bothered to find Skyfall just for the purposes of this video, but I do have it. I actually saw an intrusive ad about piracy when I was going to see Iron Man 3. There was this dusty cinema with a load of people wearing 3D glasses and they all just faded away. And as soon as I saw that, I looked around me and I went, this is a packed cinema. Iron Man 3 has already surpassed the opening weekend of the Avengers, and that is a big thing. You also have to remember that piracy is what spawned the likes of Soper and Piper, which I don't think anyone on the internet is a big fan of. Now, of course, these three high-grossing films were 3 of them sequels and 1 of them a prequel, so naturally there is a bit of bias towards them. As Red Letter Media put it, people don't like things that are different, they like to buy into something that they feel safe with. One of my favourite genres in film, of course, is horror, and you only need to look at the Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween franchises to really see how far sequels can go. When you look back at the slasher era or the Saw series, and now paranormal... Is this thing still going? It's pretty easy to see that there just aren't that many original ideas when it comes to certain things in cinema. Not in Hollywood, anyway. That's another thing I'd like to talk about. The term film is dying is, I think, coined by Hollywood itself. Like, Hollywood, as the film industry, the main film industry, I think is on a steady decline. There are so many more indie filmmakers than ever before nowadays, thanks to the likes of digital media. This is a good thing considering how awful some Hollywood production companies are. Like, you only need to look at Platinum Dunes to see how horribly unoriginal they are. That said, it isn't really easy to find these independent filmmakers aside from the ones on YouTube. I was going through r/horror the other day and I said that there aren't that many original ideas in mainstream horror now, and someone replied to me, then you're not just searching hard enough, you need to look at the indie scene. But it's kind of hard to when the independent scene hasn't got the mass appeal of the Hollywood mainstream and the distribution that Hollywood has. I don't like to be one of those indie hipster people, but the mainstream might be dying, but the independent scene is coming up quite a bit. I would think that if more independent filmmakers used online hosting sites such as YouTube, then we could see a new era of cinema here. That said, you don't really see that many feature films on YouTube that aren't put up there by the original content. Oh, I've run out of tea. Yes, there was nothing in there. I'm just trying to carry on the trend. Which of course leads me on to the subject of, is cinema dying? Cinema as what it is right now. What annoys me about when I go into my local cinema is that half the screens are taken up by 3D gimmick bullshit that I don't want to watch. I think when there is an obstruction in front of your eyes that makes your vision hurt and your eyes sore and is ultimately a detriment to the movie that doesn't improve the experience at all, especially that awful converted 3D, then it can really take away from the experience. Why would I want to pay £2 extra to see something that's worse than what I could have seen for cheaper? 3D is of course another thing that's been coming around. It actually comes around every 30 years or so. You saw a big glut of 3D in the 50s, then again in the 80s, and now in the teenies, is this called? You also see in Japanese and American cinemas this 4D experience where all the wind blows out of the chairs and things move around your feet and the chair moves with the action. That I don't like that. That does nothing but take me away out of the film. I just want to be immersed in it and watch it like a normal film. If I wanted to be part of a video game, I would play a video game. Is film dying? No, it isn't. Is it on a decline? No, it's not. Are there problems with film? Of course there is. And there are so many people out there that are willing to change that. You only need to look as far as the site that you're on right now. So what's your thoughts on this? Comment below and let me know. And watch the series as well if you haven't, if you're not coming from here, which would be all three of you. How do I end this? Hi guys, I'm an actor. Please give me jobs.